Good evening, this is BelGeode and we are back with some more Microsoft Flight Simulator X Steam Edition. And tonight, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Tonight, we're going to take a little bit of a joyride as part of my showcasing of this freeware scenery where we are right now. By now, you should have seen the latest episode of Purple Hat Tours where I showed off Nantucket, or Nantucket Memorial Airport if you prefer. But the entire island of Nantucket was what I was showcasing before. And that was by iBlueYonder. Well, tonight I'm going to show off another scenery by iBlueYonder. This is their freeware scenery called Heron's Nest. The premise is really simple. Imagine, if you will, that you own an island, basically a little strip of land just off the coast of Maine, complete with its own vacation house, its own hangar, its own seaplane base, and a bush strip. This is kind of what it would be like. And as you can see, we've even got a forerunner there for when we want to go mudding. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take a little flight here in the A2A Simulations Piper Cub, and we're going to fly to the mainland, pick up some supplies at a nearby airport, and then head back here. So that should give you a pretty good idea of what this scenery is like, as well as how this aircraft functions in VR. And since we're in the A2A Piper Cub, we will have a passenger. Tonight's passenger will be Alianis's sister, Tannia. Just a small disclaimer, when you get the A2A Simulations Piper Cub, the passenger's name is technically Heidi. But as far as I'm concerned, Heidi's a blonde, and as I'm sure you will see momentarily, Tannia is a redhead. Big difference, big difference. All right, let me show you on the map where we're going. Okay, there we go. I love how the map is just neatly tucked in here. Okay, so this is where we are. We are at 00 Mike Echo, which is not even on the map. It's just a little island just off to the side of this other island here. And we're going to be flying a direct heading to KIWI. I just love saying KIWI. It's Kilo India Whiskey India, otherwise known as Wiscasset Airport in Maine. Now, the other thing that's significant about Wiscasset Airport, at least for this episode, is that it is part of the Orbix FTX North American Airport series. So that means it should have all the little goodies that Orbix likes to give us in this freeware package here. All right, as far as the map goes, I'm going to zoom it in a little bit here. I'm going to add some radar rings. Let's see, that's 2 rings, 2-mile rings. Let's go with 5-mile rings. Yeah, that way we've got less lines on a map. Okay, so we know that KIWI is about 13 nautical miles away from where we are right now. Should be pretty easy to get to. Straight shot. All right, but we still need to get started, and before we can get started, we're going to need to get our passenger on board. So let's see if we can pull up ye old menu. There we go. And as you can see, we've got 9 gallons of gas. Our oil is full. We don't need to worry about any of the oil or any of the engine components. The prop is looking good. Hopefully I won't break it this time like the last time that I flew this thing. And let's go ahead and get Tannia on board.
Thanks for taking me flying.
Not a problem, Tannia. It is my pleasure. Always. All right, well, I hope you're ready for some fun times here. I'm going to need you to keep your eyes peeled just in case there's any traffic floating around. But let's go ahead and see if we can get this puppy started. So I'm going to get our magnetos on. There we go. That's on both. We'll turn the fuel on. Okay. We're going to need to crack the throttle a little bit here, but let me do that real quick. And we're also going to need to prime our engine. Are you okay?
Excuse me.
You're excused. Okay. Wow. All right. She hasn't even been in here 5 minutes and already she's like coughing. Okay. Don't mind me breathing down your neck here. I need to prime this engine. So we first need our mouse, wherever the hell that went. That's always fun whenever you're in VR when your mouse disappears. Okay. There we go. And we'll pull the primer out. We'll do it about 4 or 5 times here. My God, that's a horrible noise. All right, that's 2. Let's try a couple more. 3, and 1 more for good measure. Okay, folks, now comes the fun part. You see that propeller out front? There is no start switch for this aircraft. In order to start this aircraft, you've got to hand crank the propeller, which under normal circumstances, if I wasn't in VR, wouldn't be an issue. However, I have to do this, then find the mouse, grab the prop, and turn it, and pray that the prop doesn't get stuck somewhere where I can't reach it, like behind the windshield, because it won't work. See, what did I tell you? So now I've got to lean all the way out here and grab a hold of the prop. Okay, well, at least it's in a position where I can grab it now. And there it goes again. I could always cheat and just use the default shortcut to start it. However, I want to give it a couple more spins and see if I can get it. I don't know if I have to use a very quick, jerky movement on the mouse. We'll try it one more time. Then if this doesn't work, we'll start it the old-fashioned way. Okay, we're starting it the old-fashioned way. Hang on, Tannia. There we go. Let's hear it from Microsoft Auto Start. Gotta love it. Okay, so now that we've got the engine up and running, let me turn on our carb heat. Now, one thing I've noticed about the carb heat, it also causes the RPMs to go down, so we definitely do not want to fly with the carb heat on. We will rob ourselves of power. And we're going to need to taxi out there, but before we do that, let's do our controls wipeout real quick. So left aileron, right aileron, left, right, elevator up, elevator down, elevator up and down. Okay, looking good. We can't really see the rudder, but rudder pedal left, rudder pedal right, left, right. Okay, very nice, very nice. All right, Miss Tannia, are you ready to fly? Because I am ready to fly. I'm going to open up this window here so that way we have a little bit of fresh air flowing. There we go. And let's get the brakes off and taxi forward. So you can see this runway here. This is going to get really interesting because it goes up a hill and then it goes down the hill and it ends at a cliff. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you here, folks, I can't afford to mess this up, okay? All right, I think we are just about set. We'll take off, we'll go around the island, so that way I'll show it to you from the air, and then we'll get on our way to KIWI. Okay, Miss Tannia, let me make sure everything's looking good there. Yes, everything is looking fine, including my lovely passenger. Turn the carb heat off. And let's brakes down, throttles up. Brakes off and let's go. It's gonna get a little bumpy. Full throttle. Pull back a little bit on the stick. And just like that, we are airborne. We're also heading towards those trees, so I need to make a sharp right here.
That actually hurt.
I'm sorry. I'm working on it. Forgot how cantankerous this beast actually is. Okay, I think we got it now. I think we got it. Yep, we just need a little bit more airspeed and altitude. And you can see the cliff there. They are not joking with that cliff. Holy crap. Alright, let me get a little bit of altitude here and then we'll start some fun shenanigans. And look at that! Oh my god, is that what I think that is? Folks, those are dolphins. There's a pod of dolphins circling the island. That is too cool. That is really awesome. See, it's the little things like that that developers add to scenery that really makes me like their products. All right, I'm going to trim us up here so that way we can gain some altitude without my having to pull so hard on the stick. There we go. Okay, that should do the trick. And let's go ahead and turn around and take another look at the island. Hang on, Tannia. Okay, there we go. So that was the runway that we just took off. Basically, a dirt strip carved out of the forest. They are not kidding with this, folks. They are not kidding with this. I feel like I'm a little too far back, so I'm going to push my seat forward just a touch here. There we go. Okay, that feels much more comfortable. So yeah, you can see the cliff, you can see the edge of the runway, you can see our vacation home on the opposite side, and you may notice in the water there are some buoys. Why are there buoys there, you might ask? Well, look at that. That is our seaplane hangar. If we had the float plane version of this Piper Cub, we could literally park it in that hangar and then taxi out through these buoys into the open sea where we can use that as our runway. Pretty cool stuff, huh? And looks like we do have some birds floating around as well, so I'm hoping they don't cause us any issues. So there we go. Look, we got the port and the starboard buoy, red and green. Very nice, very nice. I imagine that there's probably a path going from the seaplane base back up to the house. However, I haven't walked down there yet, so I really don't know. We just got this property, so, you know. And Allie most likely is back in the house making us some pumpkin pie because it is autumn after all. Pumpkin pie season. And we are going to head on the way and see if we can get these supplies from our friends waiting for us at Wiscasset Airport. Okay, so let me close our door. There we go, that way it won't be so cold. And I'm going to pull the throttle back just a touch here. We'll keep climbing. Let's check yield map and see how far off course we are. Oh, we're actually not bad. We're actually not bad. We might need to track a little bit to the left. There we go. Now, since this is a Piper Cub, all the modern amenities that we're used to in aircraft do not exist. So GPS, nope. This is as good as it's going to get, is this little primitive map. Which, don't get me wrong, the fact that it's a moving map helps us greatly. And we also do have a very rudimentary radio. Basically, it's a walkie-talkie. So I'm going to see if I can get in touch with whichever tower is closest and get a weather briefing. I should have done that before we took off. Okay. Looks like Brunswick Approach is our nearest tower. So we'll call for flight following. Brunswick Approach, Piper November 35224 is type Piper Cub, 1 mile southeast of 00 Mike Echo, request flight following. That might be a problem, tower. I don't think we have a transponder on board, but you know what? I'm going to play along. Squawk 3461, Piper 224. Alright, copy that. Copy, Piper 224. Okay, so that allows me to set our altimeter, and you can see where we are. The altimeter is the second gauge from the right. Our airspeed is the far right. And let's see what we have here as far as our manifold pressure and all of that. Temperature's looking decent. Okay, so we are basically on the right course here. So I'm going to bring us up a little bit higher. And Miss Tannia, you're being awfully quiet here. I might have to wake you up in a second. Sorry about that takeoff. Okay, I will remind you that the trees that you're looking at there are Turbulent Designs Terra Flora trees. The only catch is I do not have the latest version of the trees, so I'm still missing the red maples. However, that is now available, so a little update to that review that I did a few weeks back. red maples and a bunch of other updates are now included with the Terraflora scenery, or the Terraflora package. Okay, let me see if I can see this airport up ahead. I know it's really not too far off. Can't quite make it out. Okay, might need to pull up the map again. Oh, no wonder, we're going a little off course. Okay, we need to go to the right. I don't believe there's aileron trim on this aircraft, so we'll have to rely on the rudder. There we go. I'm going to set us up like right here. It seems like we're drifting to the left anyway, so I'll have to compensate for that. Alright, there we go. So yeah, it's absolutely beautiful here. This is autumn in New England, which in my opinion is one of the best times to fly in New England. Now our ground textures are of course default FSX ground textures. However, I think that there is like an autogen manager that Orbix has whenever you install any of their products. So it helps as far as placement of the trees and whatnot. And I am using the Scenery Tech North American Land class. That's my default when it comes to putting down where the trees should be or where the villages and towns are. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you love it. I love it too. As long as I don't crash us, we should be good. Okay, I still can't quite make out the airport. Not sure exactly where it is. Can you see the airport up there, Tannia? I don't think you can either, because I sure as heck can't. Now the other thing too, Tannia does call out air traffic, so if there are any private planes or even commercial planes flying close by, she'll actually call them out. However, I do have traffic set very minimally, so I don't think that is going to be an issue today. And the weather is looking fine. Weather of course is being provided by Active Sky Next as always. And it looks like it's a good day to fly. A little bit of haze in the distance, but other than that, not bad for a little afternoon flight here. Okay, what is our altitude? We are over 2,000. I think we're a little bit high here. Let me pull us up a bit. I'm trying to gain some airspeed here while we're at it. Just checking if you're awake.
Great.
She's awake. Alright, let's check the map one more time here. I'm going to need to trim us down in a second too. Okay, we're still drifting to the left. I don't know why that is. I can only imagine it's the winds. But as you can see, our airport is now about 8 nautical miles ahead of us. So we're getting closer. We're getting there. Still can't quite see it just yet, but we'll probably see it around 5 nautical miles away. Alright, we're done with the map for right now. And let me trim us down here. This is our trim control on the side. There we go. Okay, so that should start bringing us down. Now Brunswick Airport that we were just speaking with is somewhere off in that direction. As a matter of note, Brunswick Airport is listed in FSX as a naval air station. Now bear in mind, I haven't done any research for this. This is just a joyride, so very minimal research. I don't think it is a naval air station now, or if it is, it's probably a combination of private airport or, commercial airport plus naval air station, and maybe there might be some Coast Guard elements there as well. But we won't be flying out there. We're just going to be heading here to Wiscasset, and that should be considerably far enough for us to go. Piper Cub isn't meant for long haul flights anyway, so yeah, we should be fine with this. Alright, it's still kind of high up there. What is our airspeed? Not bad. We're roughly about 70 knots. Yeah, this thing isn't going to be winning any speed races here. However, it will get the job done as far as what we want to do. Okay, still no traffic. I can see you looking there, Tannia. Alright, let's see if we can start bringing her down here. I'm guessing there's probably Unicom at this airport. So let me get on the horn here. See if we can locate it. There it is, Wiscasset, aka KIWI. Alright, let's listen to the automated weather. Okay, so judging from the way that the winds are blowing, it sounds to me like we're going to need to come in on runway 7. So let me go ahead and select that runway. And we're going to do a full stop landing. And we'll announce our position. Kilo, India, Whiskey, India traffic. Piper, November 35224 is 5 miles southeast, 2,600, inbound to land, runway 7. Alright, good deal. We are a little high up though. We're not going to make the airport like this, so we're definitely going to need to come down. And I do believe I can see the airport up ahead. Yep, that looks to be it. Okay, so we'll bring our throttles down. Now I'm not going to pull the throttles all the way back, because if I do that, I will need to turn on the carb heat. And as I've already explained before, flying with the carb heat on is not a very good idea. But I will, however, trim us down a bit so that way we can lose some altitude quickly. And Tannia's grabbing the brace. Yeah, we are starting to increase speed considerably here, so. Alright, now we can definitely see the airport. Tannia, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to open the door here. Okay, looking good, looking good. I'm going to swing us out to the left a little here. And I can now trim us up some too. Okay, I don't know about you folks, but that looks to me like we are now on base legs. So let me go ahead and call that out. That is number 7. Kilo, India, Whiskey, India traffic. Piper, November 35224 is on base, runway 7. We'll leave this window open because we're going to need to announce on final in a moment. Alright, we might as well make this a proper base leg here. So from the looks of it, we're going to have to go over that little inlet, and the airport is on a hill, a very slight hill. Not a problem. I can handle that. Okay, we'll keep bringing her down. Now I think what I might do, I might go against what I said before. I'll put the throttle all the way to idle and put the carb heat on when we're on final approach. Because the stall speed is so low in the Piper Cub, we should be able to make it down without any issues. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, we're at 1,000 feet now. And that's the beautiful thing that I love about VR. You actually do feel like you're as high up as your altimeter says. I am okay with this. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and make the call to final, even though we're still on base leg here. Kilo India Whiskey India traffic. Piper November 35224 is on final, runway 7 to land. Alright Tannia, we're coming in, and I'll try to make it smoother this time. And And looks like we're picking up a glide slope, so this is great. I'm going to start our turn to final. Nice easy bank here. Okay, we're almost there. I'm not so worried about lining up. What I am worried about is not being able to see the runway because of Tannia's head in my way, even though she's got gorgeous red hair. But that's why I've got the door open, because that should help me compensate for that. Okay, we are on glide slope, and we're looking good there, we're looking good there, we're a little high up. Okay, throttle to idle, and carb heat's coming on. Provided, of course, I can hit it. There we go. Alright, so at this angle, we should just be able to cruise in. Nice, very nice. We're still on glide slope. It is so much easier to fly in VR, folks. So much easier. Alright, right here is good. Let's start dumping some speed. We'll flatten her out. Okay, good deal. And we are down, and I think I see our friends over there that brought our supplies. So we'll taxi to the end of the runway, and then we'll come back around the other way. Alright, I'm going to open this window too while we're at it. Well, that way I can see out that side as well. Just like the dog in a car. I love it. Oh, you know what? I think I do have the updated version of Terraflora, because that looks suspiciously like a red maple over there. I guess it did update. Alright, we're going to make a left turn here. A little bit of love taps on the brakes here. Hey, look at that! There's a beach bonanza over there. And a guy on a cell phone. Lucky guy gets to carry his beach bonanza here. I can't do that because, of course, we live in a house that has a bush airstrip. So yeah, that's not going to work. Now, I don't know if you recall my telling you about the ground textures when I was doing the Nantucket video. But that little terrain texture file, I swapped that out. So the one that I have right now looks like gravel, which unfortunately also makes the grass look like gravel. However, since this is in fact Orbix, we do have 3D blades of grass. You can see them on the other side there. So that helps out a little bit. Okay, there are our friends, so we're gonna just pull up over here. And look at that dude over by the fence. That guy doesn't look suspicious at all. There they are. Hey folks, we're here for our supplies. Alright, right here is good. Okay. So we got Juanita and Chet here with our supplies, so we're going to take a few minutes and get everything all loaded up in this thing. Don't ask me where the hell I'm going to put it, because there's not that much space, but we'll make do. We'll figure something out. Maybe I'll put it in between Tannia's legs there, since she's not going to need to use a stick. Alrighty folks, we will be right back. Okay folks, we are back and we've got our supplies loaded on board, so we're good to go, and it is time for us to head back to our island. So we're going to wave goodbye to Juanita and Chet here, And we're going to taxi out to runway 7. I should probably call on the radio that we are clear of the runway. So let me do that real quick. Kilo India Whiskey India traffic, Piper November 35224, runway vacated. And we might as well call that we're going to taxi as well too. Kilo India Whiskey India traffic, Piper November 35224 is taxiing to runway 7. Alright, thanks again folks, see you later. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the carb heat off. We're going to need full power to take off from here. Got to lean my head outside here and make sure I know where we're going. And that's interesting. What is that? That looks like a pile of rocks. Orbix, what are you trying to do here? Are you trying to tell me there's a pile of rocks at this airport in real life? I don't know what's up with that. Okay, but we'll leave the rocks alone here, because we're almost at runway 7. Pull our throttle back a bit. Gentle love taps on the brakes. Alright, and let's come around this turn. Gotta love that differential braking, folks. Okay, right here should be good. Alright, and let's let everyone know our intentions. Put the parking brake on. Kilo India Whiskey India traffic, Piper November 35224, taking off runway 7, departure to the south. Alright, let's do the thing. Let's do the thing. And Tannia, you will let me know if you're cold, right? I'd appreciate that. Okay, I'm not going to go with the brakes down, throttles up. We're just going to get going. Because we'll be airborne in no time with this thing. Full throttle, pull back, and let it fly itself off the runway. Very nice, very nice. Trim us up a little bit here. So once again, we'll wave goodbye to Juanita and Chet. Thank you so much for getting our supplies for us. And we're going to circle around the airport for one last look before we head back home. Alright, let me close up the door here. Okay, there we go. Gain a little bit more altitude before we make this turn. Alright, let's give it some rudder here as well. There it is, good old Wiscasset, aka KIWI. Alright, so we'll fly runway heading and then we'll veer out to the left and go over that inlet. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Just a reminder, the FTX North American airports are free. You do not need to have any of the other Orbix products in order to use them. As you can see, it fits in perfectly with default scenery or default terrain textures and whatnot. And they're all so very well done. They have a little bit of life to them, which is good. Only thing we're missing is AI traffic, but that's okay. I really don't expect to see too many planes flying around right now. Alright, we're going to make our left turn here. And let me trim us up some more. Okay, I'm thinking that should be good. Alright, well, let's do a map check real quick. Okay, yeah, we actually need to veer a little bit more to the left. Heading should be roughly about 170. Matter of fact, I think I can see the island out there. Okay, right there should be good. Give it a little bit of aileron action. Okay, we are on course. Perfect. Miss Tannia, you've been awfully quiet here, so I'm thinking we're going to need to wake you up. Let me open the door first. And let's have a little bit of fun. First we'll pull up. And then we'll bring her over. And you know what? Let's hit those treetops down there.
It's better than a roller coaster.
I'm glad you like that. Alright, hold on to your shorts, baby doll, because we are heading for those trees. I'll try not to hit them. We're over at max speed. We don't want to kill these engines, so I'm going to drop our power here. Since this is A2A, how you treat this aircraft is reflected in the sim. So yeah, I don't want to burn up my engine or anything. Ah, but look at that. That is gorgeous. And I don't know if I mentioned before that those are actually larch trees. I know when I did the review of Terra Flora, I had mentioned that I thought it was kind of funny that some of these evergreen trees changed color. Well, they're larch. Larch is supposed to do that. Alright, I want to go over some of these deciduous trees over there because that's the real beauty of fall right there. Let's gain a little bit more altitude. Up and up and up we go. Getting kind of close to stall speed though. I'm not too happy about that. Let me get some more airspeed going. There we go. Alright, there we go. So now we're at about 1,000 feet off the deck. Pretty decent. And there we have a little bit of a hillside there. That's what I kind of like about this area. It looks like it's very pastoral. Lots of meadows and forests and so on and so forth. Now also please remember that I tend to keep my autogen a little bit lower than what most people do. And the only reason why I'm doing that is because we are in VR. VR has a way of really eating your VAS, or your virtual addressing space. You're only allowed 4 gigs in FSX, in any of the FSX products. And actually I believe the same holds true for P3D with the exception of version 4. So obviously we don't want to have an out of memory issue, so I have to keep the autogen down a little bit here. But it still looks pretty lovely. In fact, if you want, we can probably get up close and personal with it. You having fun yet? I love it, being down in the weeds with my hair on fire. There is no better feeling. This to me is what flying's all about. But then I also love helicopters, and this is part of the reason, because you can get up close and personal with the vegetation. As long as we're not eating it or wearing it, we should be good. that just looks so gorgeous though. I love it. I love it. Alright, I'm going to need to check the map again and make sure we're not too far off course. So we'll just let it do its thing. It's going to gain altitude. Yeah, we're a little off course. Okay, so we need to swing out to the right. Should be on a heading of about 190. However, our island is about 8 nautical miles away in this direction. Alright, right there should be good. Okay, so we got to remember this direction, Tannia, due south. I think we're okay with that. Oh, look at that, little lonely farmhouse. So cool, so cool. And actually, I think you can see the island up ahead there, just past that longer island. So yeah, now that we've got visual on it, we can continue having fun and shenanigans. Yeah, you told me that before. But I'm glad you like it. I am really glad you like it. Now the reason why I decided to use the Piper Cub with the regular wheels instead of the Tundra tires, you saw that runway and you saw the ordeal that we had to go through just to take off. Can you imagine being in Tundra tires, which are extra bouncy, trying to navigate that runway? Yeah, that's probably not going to end very well for us. So I am sure we will be just fine with these. However, I might need to make a couple of approaches to come in, because I'm not going to lie, folks, it is not easy landing on that island. We will find out momentarily. Alright, I'm going to give us full throttle here. Make sure our RPMs are looking decent. Yeah, we're fine. So what we'll do is we'll circle around the island to lose a bit of airspeed and altitude, and then we'll come in pretty much the opposite way of how we went out. And that, I think, should be good. We're gaining a little too much altitude here. Let me trim us down. Alright, there we go. That should be about neutral trim. I love this rolling countryside. This is so beautiful, folks. This is tremendously beautiful. I love this in real life too. Okay, so it looks like we've got one more island before we get to our island. There's a little village right there. I don't know the names of any of these places, and obviously since I didn't do any homework on this, I really couldn't tell you. But I think that's pretty cool. So we'll wave to all the little villagers down there. Hi folks, don't mind us, we're just heading back to our private bougie island, where you're not allowed because you're not bougie enough and you don't have a forerunner or something like that. Okay, island coming up. Let me make sure we're trimmed out here. Yeah, it kind of feels like we are, except the wind is still blowing us to the left. What is up with that? I didn't sign up for a crosswind approach here. And that actually brings to mind a very good point. Landing this thing at low speed with high winds might get interesting. I think they did say that the wind was at about 5 knots, so it's really not that bad, but we are in a Piper Cub, let's not forget. And this is no Tomcat, and it does not like any kind of winds, fast or otherwise. Alright, let's lose some more altitude. Tannia seems to approve. Alright, I'm going to keep our airspeed so that way we can get rid of this little bit of distance here, and then we'll bring her home. So we'll say goodbye to mainland Maine, or mainland United States if you prefer, and on to our own little island territory. RPMs are getting up there. I need to pull us back a bit. Okay, so the runway should be directly ahead, but I think what I will do is I will overfly it and plan this out before we actually land. Might want to trim us down a touch too. Okay, so there's Heron's Nest. I'm not quite sure what that island over there is called. However, since that is on the actual FSX map, I'm surprised that Bill didn't just choose to make that island a special location. Unless he just specifically wanted to create something for FSX, which I think he did a pretty damn good job. I am in love with this place. Okay, so this is the direction we're going to need to come in from. We'll swing out here. Now I'm going to start pulling our throttle back. Ah, that's a Kodak moment right there. Okay, so right there is the bump in the island, the little hill. We got a wind vane there. Oh, there's birds. I forgot about the damn birds. Crap. Okay, I think we've negotiated the birds, so we're good. Alright, we'll swing around this way. Yeah, coming in on this one is going to be real interesting. We're pretty much going to have to drop as much speed as we possibly can and try to see if we can catch it on that upslope and use the hump to slow us down enough, because once we start going downhill, if we are increasing speed too much, this could be a problem. So little dolphins, wish us good luck please as we make this approach. Can't really see where I'm going there, but we're going to swing it around. Okay, I see the cliff face. And we're over the X's. We're a little fast though. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to pull this off, but we're going to attempt it. Nope, this is a go-around. We were coming in a little too fast, so I think I might have to use that trick that I did before back at Wiscasset, where we put the carb heat on to manipulate the RPM and get it down lower. I think that will help us here, but I'll have to set us up on final approach first before we do that. And there's our dolphin buddies again. As long as it's not the Miami Dolphins, I'm good. These would be the Maine Dolphins. Okay, I'm gonna go throttle to idle, and carb heat's coming on. I'm gonna make a little bit more gentle turn this time. Okay, there's our cliff. Let's add a little bit of rudder. Yeah, this is going to be a really low and slow approach. As long as I make it over the X's, we're good. And we're good. Let's bring her down. Floaty, floaty. And just like that, we are down. How do you like them apples, Tannia? Okay, of course now we have to get to the other side. Not too shabby, if I should say so myself. Definitely takes a little bit of skill to try and bring this bird into this airport. But then that is the beauty of this airport, and I'm really glad that iBlueYonder has made this one available for free. Which means all you really need to do is just purchase the Piper Cub from A2A, unless of course you want to use the default FSX Piper Cub, that'll work too. And then you can try this yourself with your own vacation house here off the coast of Maine. Alright, so we're going to offload our supplies, but first I'm going to see if I can turn us around here. I'm not going to park us back in a hangar, I'm just going to put us right about here. There we go. Alrighty, Miss Tannia, that will do it for us, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the carb heat. And we'll also cut the fuel and turn the ignition off. There we go. How do you like that, folks? That was pretty freaking cool. And I thank you so much for joining me. And I thank you for joining me as well, Tannia. See, I didn't kill us, as promised. Alrighty, folks, that will do it for me. This has been BelGeode. I've been flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator X Steam Edition. I've been showing off the freeware add-on called Heron's Nest by iBlueYonder, and I've been flying in the A2A Piper Cub with my lovely co-pilot, Miss Tannia Shrike, Allie's sister. Alrighty, folks, if you enjoy what you've seen, please feel free to give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I will catch you on the next flight. Ciao!